very happy to be here today. So I appreciate the hospitality, and I'm very happy to guide you a little bit through who we are and what we do, how we are set up, and then more specifically how we expanded our business to Japan. To cut the long story short, Japan is just the first step. We are intending to extend our operation into Southeast Asia, maybe later this year, early next year. So this is just the beginning of a journey. But let me maybe quickly give you an introduction on who we are and what we do. So we are providing a platform that is a simple access to insurance. And we're not specifying for who, because the platform is covering the entire value chain of insurance, which means that all participants within the insurance industry can actually be part of that platform. That could be the end customer, that could be you, that could be a broker, an insurance company, or any other party who is actively participating in the insurance value chain as such. Now, the company has been founded in 2012. As such, we are now effectively a growth company, a scaling company, as we left the startup stage. We have 150 employees who are all based in Berlin, and we're serving out of Berlin 28 countries within Europe. Now, as we heard from Chika, since October last year, we have an office in Tokyo, and as of today, as of 1st of May, we have 3 employees who are based in Japan, who are bringing our business model to Japan, and at a later stage, as I mentioned already, hopefully to Southeast Asia. We have raised $60 million in funding so far. We heard it at the beginning. We have 2 Japanese investors. One of them is Tokyo Marine Insurance Company, the largest insurance company in Japan, and the other investor is Rakuten, which is the Amazon of Japan, if you like, a very large e-commerce company with many different businesses. So the beauty, as I mentioned already, is that the platform is available to all participants of the insurance market, number one. Number two, it's all being handled and maintained out of Berlin. In other words, we do not need an office in every country in order to serve the country. Yeah? So currently, we are serving 28 countries across Europe, plus Japan, and we're doing this mainly with a strong team of international employees here in Berlin. They speak the languages, Italian, Spanish, and so forth. They travel the countries, they know the local markets, but we are very proud to have that all based here in Berlin. Now, why are we doing this effectively? Now, the digitalization is not stopping when it comes to insurance. The insurtech market as a startup environment, as a startup biotope, if you like, is one of the fastest growing. The potential to digitalize the insurance value chain is huge. Yeah? The behavior of the consumers is changing. The behavior and, let's say, administration of the insurance companies is changing, of the intermediaries who are part of the insurance value chain is changing. So the potential to digitalize in the insurance world is huge. The numbers are very clear around this. So we are basically following that route since 2012, if not leading or participating in the lead of that development. And you can see here that 50% of all insurance policies are being already bought online, opposed to someone walking into an office somewhere, talking to a broker or an insurance agent and purchasing the insurance there. Now, I've already mentioned Tokyo Marine as one of our partners, as one of our insurance partners and investors. There's a number of other insurance partners that we work with, namely Allianz here in Europe. Allianz is also one of our strategic investors, but it doesn't stop there. We're working with Thomas Cook, who is a large travel organization, but also has a travel insurance company with who we cooperate. And then there is a number of other names that might or might not be familiar to you. Those are specialized insurance companies sometimes. Some of those have a special footprint when it comes to geography or to product. But those are our insurance partners through who we are or whose product we are bringing to the end customer. Now, let's have a look on how we do that. So here above me, you can see the insurance value chain. And I'm not going to bore you with details too much on how the economics work in insurance. But you can see from product development to distribution to the administration and then the after-sales process, a process that is familiar to you also in banking or other segments, is something we cover. So our technology enables us to cover each value chain of that piece, or each piece of that value chain across the market. We're doing this in Europe, but also in Asia. Now, the key unique selling proposition here is the distribution technology. So how are we able to make the end customer purchase the insurance? And our business model here is what you call a business to consumer model. So we are distributing insurances through our partners to the end customer. In other words, we would integrate with one of our technologies here, and I'm going to speak about that in a second. We would integrate with our technology with one of the partners, and the partner would then enable its end customers to purchase an insurance. In other words, what we're not doing is to bring the insurance directly to the end customer. We're doing this through a partner. Now, there's 4 distinct ways or 4 distinct pieces of technology we're using for that. The plugin is the most familiar one. The plugin is something we have developed in-house over years, spending a lot of money, and which enables our partners with the simple run of a JavaScript to integrate our technology, and from that point we will then sell the insurance on his behalf to its end customer. So it's a very low effort integration on the side of the partner, and we are helping then the partner also to optimize the conversion rate, to optimize the visualization of the insurance, and it's a very easy way for our partners. If it is a bit more of a complex integration, we're using an API that we have designed, which is also helping. We're doing in-app integrations. What's an in-app integration? We're effectively, with our technology, integrating in the application of our partners. This could be a banking application, could be a travel application. Any application that you use on a daily basis on your smartphone is something that we're integrating on, and then are ultimately allowing to sell insurance to the end customer who's using the application. We're also using white label shops and partner portal, which is enabling us to guide certain traffics post the point of sale onto our shop and sell insurance. Now, what are the segments we're looking at? So I've been talking about the technology, how we integrate. I've been speaking about the fact that this is a business to consumer model. Who are the partners we work with? In what segments are those being placed? Now, first and foremost, the e-commerce segment. I mentioned Rakuten as one of our investors. We are fully integrated with Rakuten here in Europe, and I'm working on the extension to Japan. So basically, we are allowing an end customer who's purchasing, for instance, a smartphone or a laptop or a bicycle on Rakuten's webpage. He's enabled now to purchase a warranty extension or an insurance together with that product he's buying online. That is the classic traditional e-commerce segment. Next to that, we're cooperating with original equipment manufacturers. Many of them come from Asia. Huawei is an example, or OnePlus is another example, who are distributing their products in the online world, mainly in the online world, across 28 European countries. Our technology is enabling OnePlus and Huawei to cross-sell insurance to that product. Further, there is the banking segment, and I brought a little example for that matter. So we are integrating with the mobile banking applications of neobanks, of fintechs, but also of traditional banks who have a mobile banking application. Again, our technology enables basically the bank to sell to its customers an insurance. We're also active in the mobility and hospitality segment and the telecommunication segment. So basically, any segment where goods or services are being sold that warrants a cross-sell of an insurance product or a warranty extension. Now, I've brought one example from the bank insurance side. Revolut is one of the largest growing fintechs or neobanks in Europe. Its main competitor, N26, is based here in Berlin. Revolut and Simplesurance have a cooperation when it comes to insurance. So we are effectively managing the insurance folder. I don't know if any one of you is using Revolut here in the audience. Here we go. I'm not surprised. You find an insurance folder. in the application. And effectively, we are cross-selling insurance through their application. In this case, it's an insurance for a smartphone that you can purchase. And we're doing this together with our insurance partner, Allianz. So once you've purchased the certificate, you receive an email that's confirming that now your smartphone is insured. And you would see actually that this is done by Allianz together with Simplesurance in cooperation with Revolut. So this is just to give you an overview of who we are, what we do, where we come from, and how we do it. Now let's come to the main and last part of my presentation, which is the expansion to Asia. So in September 2017, we went to Tokyo for a big e-commerce conference hosted by Rakuten, who was just an investor with us for a short time. And we discussed and presented our integration with them here in Europe. The local management of the Japanese entity was very impressed by what we do and suggested why we would not bring our business model to Japan. That was basically the initial spark and that triggered the discussion and the decision to come to Japan. Now since then, and I just spoke with someone about it, I've been 9 times to Japan, and we opened our office 1st of October last year. Since 1st of November, we have our managing director there, and we have now a team of 3 employees. By end of this year, we want to have a team of 10 people. And we are effectively very lucky for 2 reasons, which is really one reason, but it's manifested by 2, which is Tokyo Marine and Rakuten. So my personal advice to anyone who is exploring the idea of going to Japan, make sure you get very strong partnerships. Make sure you're cooperating with someone who has a big name in Japan, someone who has a strong foothold, because that will make your life infinitesimally easier. If you go by yourself and you have a strong brand somewhere else, that helps a lot. But still, you will feel the difference if you have a strong partner locally. Now, this can come in the form of a joint venture. We decided not to go down this road, so we have a fully owned subsidiary, 100% from our German entity in Japan. But we have a clear, let's say, strategic roadmap with both of our investors, Rakuten and Tokyo Marine, in terms of helping them to bring their partners to the next level from a digital standpoint. And obviously, that helps us in return. So that strong cooperation is something that is tremendously helpful. The second point I want to raise is the hiring, which is something not too easy and straightforward in Japan. So first of all, the unemployment rate is extremely low, so people tend to be in jobs. And second, you have a very, let's say, fine niche to fill here, which means you need someone who knows, obviously, Japan. In the best case, it's a Japanese national, but then who knows the Western world sufficiently to be able to bridge that to Europe from a mindset standpoint, who speaks English fluently and who can navigate both universes. That already makes it relatively small as a segment. And then the third factor, which is you're adding the digital component to it. It's a young organization. It's not a large corporation. With a big, let's say, support system. It's something small. So combining those 3 factors to find the right person is really a challenge. It took us quite a while. We engaged with a number of agencies. We used our network very heavily, and are now very happy actually with the outcome. I'm just very, let's say, respectfully looking at the plan till end of the year to fill this up by another 7 people to have 10 employees on board. But I can tell you the journey is unexpected, is extremely enriching once you make that step and you have strong partners and you're building trust over a period of 12, 18 months. The camaraderie and the spirit you feel with those partners is something that I have not felt in any other territory. The support you have, the trust you have with those people. There's ups and downs, there's no doubt about it, but the trust you feel is something that, for my personal experience, was unique in Japan. So this is really what I would like to share with you from a personal standpoint. Again, thank you very much for the occasion, opportunity to speak today. And I would like to invite you if you have any questions at this stage. Sure. Long enough.
You mentioned you're working with some telcos as well. I was just wondering if you could kind of go into a bit more information around that.
So telecommunication companies historically are dominating the market when it comes to selling smartphone insurance, especially in Europe, but also in Japan. They have niche operations here and there where they sell other equipment. So we are working with a Dutch, we're in discussion with a Dutch telco company and also with a German one. It's in development, so I don't want to say the name, but it's a hard nut to crack because it's a very established market. But what effectively happens is that they're losing market share against people like Revolut, who are now basically servicing the same market. And that's the real interesting development, is that now you have a travel application who could sell a smartphone insurance, or you have a neobank who's selling smartphone insurance, opposed to the Deutsche Telekom, opposed to Orange, and so forth.
Cheers. You mentioned that you want the strategy of the company for the next couple of years to go Southeast Asia market. And I just wondered if you want to attack that market from a Japanese hub, so to say, or you are also planning to establish offices in that area?
That's a topic we are vividly discussing in the management. At this stage, the Japanese opportunity is so big that the team there is extremely busy in focusing on that. That's number one. Number two, I think the cultural differences between Japan and Southeast Asia are probably almost as big as between Europe and Southeast Asia. The language is a different one. If you're looking at some of the countries where basically you can use language, you can use English as the language. So it's likely to be managed out of Berlin at the beginning. I would foresee probably to have an operation maybe in Singapore and in Kuala Lumpur at some stage. But that's just speculation. We're still discussing that. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dominik.